penalty to look at, a couple of yellow cards to look at, and then we can look at some of the goals as well about positioning, because I felt it was a little bit off today. What is up, everyone, and welcome back to another REFSIX weekly vlog, where this week we have a New Year's Day fixture at Guernsey Football Club. So that means we have to get our flight over to Guernsey on New Year's Day. So a nice day ahead of us. So in this vlog, we're going to look at, how I go about the game, all my training that I get up to. So from the Sunday after a match day all the way through to the Wednesday when it's going to be match day, how I deal with it in terms of New Year's Eve. Do I go out and celebrate? All those kind of things, as well as we're going to analyse the game itself. But enough from me, let's get straight into the vlog, and I will see you when I'm training. Hello everyone. So that is match day -1 session done. It's really windy out, so tomorrow is due to be a massive storm, so that's going to be fun. The session was quite simple. It's 3K warm up at a steady pace to get your legs going, and then it's 15 sprints, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. For me, it's like 20 kilometers an hour. That's like a fast run, so that's what that was. Feeling good. It just activates my legs. It makes me feel sort of sharp for tomorrow. That's the idea. So I'm just going to finish up with a little bit of stretching. And then I am going out for a New Year's Eve party. So I'll be back by midnight, or probably back by 1. And then I've got to leave for the airport about 9 o'clock, so it's not too bad. But obviously the idea is I won't drink tonight, because that's obviously what I don't do. No alcohol in terms of that. But it means I'm sharp and ready to go. So yeah, that's the training session. If you want any training plans, hit the link in our description. We've got like a fitness plan that you can try out. And if there are any questions about my kind of training, or if you want like a week in the life of training, let me know in the comments, and we can sort that out for you. But for now, I'm going to enjoy my New Year's Eve and then get ready for match day tomorrow. See you there. So it is the day before Guernsey, and because I've got to get up early, I'm going to pack my bag now. So in this bag, I've already got my football boots. I've asked for a towel when I go to Guernsey, so I'm going to pack really light. Straightforward, the bare basics: whistles, caffeine tablets, because it's a long day, we've always said that, spare watch, whistle, hairbands, red and yellow cards, 2 pairs of socks, my match kit, which is 2 match shirts, a warm-up top, my Under Armours, and 2 pairs of shorts. And the only other thing I've got to bring is my crime sheets, which I will put all my red and yellow cards in, like so, as well as a spare bag for my kit, so I can put that in my bag so nothing else gets contaminated. That's everything I'm bringing to Guernsey. It's nice and light. It makes me feel criminally underprepared. I've got flags at the ground already. So yeah, I'm going to quickly pack this up and leave it in my car for when I get up first thing in the morning. Enjoy everyone. So we're at the airport. It's a bit windy, but flight's on, so that's good. I've left my passport at home, so meal deal pre-match it is. Not ideal, but it is what it is. We can't be too strict on, if things go well, if things don't. Things have to change, and that's okay. The big thing for today is going to be the weather conditions. It's meant to be wet and windy, so that which is going to have to deal with football as it is. So yeah, let's get this show on the road, and I'll see you next time. So, back in the day of the flight, which isn't a problem. It's just about staying calm, making sure everyone's informed about what's going on. So we were due to land on the island at like 12:30, and that's going to be like close to 1, maybe 1:15 for 2 o'clock kickoff. So we're going to have to delay kickoff a little bit. So just keep everyone informed, stay nice and chill. What I've done is call the league and the referee secretary to make sure that I'm going through the right processes, because that's really important regardless. It's really you have to deal with more in terms of flight being delayed, getting to the ground. So making sure I've gone through the right processes, talking to the right people. So I still feel quite good. I don't feel too up here, which is really important. I've dealt with a lot of things internally to make sure I'm still cool, calm and collected, because at the end of the day, if I start putting myself up here when I actually get out onto the pitch, I'm going to be still here, and decision making will not be ideal. So what I've done is put music in, taking a deep breath. I'm sitting on my Maggie, and I've got extra open, which is even nicer. So
just a lot of breathing, control what I can control, which is making sure everyone's informed. So people may be frustrated, but at least they're informed of what's going on. So that's what I'm doing. And so yeah, I'll see you when you're on it.
Hello everyone, so the game is done. That was hard. Mentally exhausting today. There's a lot to deal with, obviously with flights being delayed, you've got to try and manage the whole event. So with Sutton Common Rovers, obviously unknowing what's going on, us not knowing what's going on. So yeah, tough day out. Mentally I'm exhausted. Like I came off the pitch today and I couldn't stand. I was sitting down, I was like, so yeah, I'm exhausted. Worked hard, 13.5k today running, and it was just one of those games that was backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards. The pitch was, you know, sloppy towards the end, and you had to work hard in the wind. So I feel like I've refed really well today, actually. I was strong. I feel like I was consistent with holding and, you know, let them play when they could and penalise. They're always going to be like 50-50s that people I'm happy with. 5 cautions, 1 penalty that I think we should look at, because I'm pretty sure I got that nailed on. No real complaints there. So yeah, you know, big day. My flight's been delayed as well, so it's going to be an extra long day. But yeah, New Year's Day, I think I've done well. I'm a bit emotional at the moment. Like, I don't know whether I've done well or I don't know how I feel in myself. And that's probably the hardest thing for today. My assistants have been class. Everything's been class. Game on. Hello everyone. So the time is 12:10. Alexa, what's the time?
The time is 12:05 a.m.
12:05 a.m. On the 2nd, and I've just got back. I feel emotionally drained. I feel shattered. But, you know, it's done. On reflection, I probably can't give an honest one today. I want to feel like I've refereed well. That's how I want to feel. But I'm going to go for it tomorrow. The highlights are out. I'm not going to bother with them today. I'll do it at some point tomorrow. And then I'll do a proper debrief sort of analysis in a couple of days with you guys. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Penalty to look at, a couple of yellow cards to look at, and then we can look at some of the goals as well about positioning, because I felt it was a little bit off today. But worked hard, and it has really taken it out of me. So the plan of action for tomorrow now is like a light gym session just to keep me ticking over and recover. But I think tomorrow's got to be more of a mental recharge. Yeah, I've got to go to work, but in the evening I plan on having an early night. And that's the kind of things that I need to do, like just completely reset, maybe avoid football. And then, you know, when I can face it again, go again. But yeah, it's just been one of those days. Like, I don't think I've refereed well. There wasn't a lot to do. It's just draining. So yeah, that's how I feel. But yeah, overall a good day. I think, you know, it's a fun day out. It's just long. It's been, you know, the better part of like 15 hours, 16 hours. So I am trashed. But yes, I'll see you in a couple of days. So, welcome back to the analysis session of the Guernsey vlog. Obviously a very long day out, as we mentioned in the vlog itself. It's like a 17-hour day by the time you get up and go to the airport. So performing well is difficult, but we did it really well, I think. The 2 guys that I was with that supported me throughout the day were top class, so, you know, credit to them, because, you know, as a team, I thought we were really good in quite challenging conditions. First things first, we're going to look at my stats. So I'm going to open the REFSIX app, and I'm going to go to the game. In this game, I've run a personal best of 13.64 kilometres. That's 7 kilometres in the first half and 6 kilometres in the second half. Now, I'm going to get a lot of people in the comments saying, you know, that's running too much. And I probably would agree with you, but in this game it was very backwards and forwards, very end-to-end. 4-3, there's a lot of goals. The wind doesn't help, so you have to work harder because it obviously holds up one end and flies forward another. And there's a couple of clips that we're going to look into about why I probably run a little bit further, because I had to do a lot of following the ball in. This then brings me up to my sprint map, which is 106 sprints, so that's averaging more than one a minute. 17 high speed sprints, 57 medium and 32 low. It's exactly all the reasons why we train. We said it on Christmas Day, why we go out and do speed sessions. I felt prepared, I felt ready. I was a little bit tired from the long day, but overall very good. Now, if you want stats like this, there's a link in our description for you to download REFSIX. There's also a link in there if you want the pro stats like I have here. You can click that and use the code YouTube and get 20% off a REFSIX Pro subscription. But let's get into the real meaty side of it. So we didn't get sent the full footage, but there's highlights that we're going to look at today. And there's a couple of things I want to look at in terms of positioning, getting into the game. So this is quite early on, this first clip. And as you can see here, I'm just wandering around, and I'm going to pause it here because I have a player in the way. And what the difference between good referees and great referees is, one will lean, as you're about to see, and one will step away from the players to get away. So as you can see here, I've kind of just leaned my body, and similarly the players leaned with me. And that's not what we want. We want to make sure that we're dynamic and stretch and get our position wide. So basically I want to be standing here. So I've got a view of the ball, or standing here, but the disadvantage of the ball, of me standing here, is I could get hit with the ball because that's the direction of play. So these are like little bits of positioning that you don't pick up on the day. It just makes you look a little bit smarter. It means that you're probably more aware of the second phase of play. So if that ball pops out, you're ready for it. If there's a tackle here, I'm probably not the best place to see it. I'm relying a lot on judgment and sort of like my gut feeling. Luckily, nothing comes of it, but it's just something to be aware of. The second clip is probably the biggest decision of the game. The score is currently 2-0 here, and we're about to give a penalty. So yeah, the ball comes out from a corner, and then the player chops him down. Now, you can see my positioning. It's something we've brought up before about walking into the danger zone. I've slightly done it again, but then started taking a step back. For me, it's just a careless foul. The player's not going anywhere, he's not doing anything, so let's have a look at it again. So instantly my decision, thought process here is the ball is going towards the byline, not towards goal. The player is staying on his feet, he's gone to genuinely attempt to play the ball, he's just missed the ball and then sort of carelessly tripped him over. If this was in the middle of the park, it's not a yellow card, it's not, just because it's in the penalty area, it doesn't make it a yellow. And that was my thought process here. Players here, you can see player reactions are more like looking at the player of, I can't believe you've just done that, rather than coming at me, which is great. And then we come into the penalty procedure, which is really important to look at. So what I've started to do is stand in almost in between the ball and the penalty spot. So the ball, and the edge of the 18-yard line. And then if anyone runs past me when it comes to taking a penalty, then I know they're encroaching, and then I can start processing that. But as you can see, I've told them all to sort of, stay outside until he's touched it. And then we go through the penalty. Good pen. But here is the problem. So it's now 2-1 to Sutton, so the away team, Guernsey are in green. They've just made it 2-1. The goalkeeper is now holding onto the ball. The 9 wants to get the ball to start quickly. So it's really important as referees we're alert here. So you can see me talking to the players here about, I'm shouting at the keeper, let go of the ball, let's get going, keep it calm. Because what we don't want to do is those players to clash, make the game come up here. And then obviously we have a red card for violent conduct or 2 yellow cards for adopting an aggressive attitude on a scenario that we can manage. So it's really important that we're alert in these situations. So here we are, look, as you can see, I'm saying calm, calm, keep it easy, let them get the ball back. This is also in the 47th minute, so just before we go into halftime as well. So the last thing I want is players going in to the halftime break frustrated or angry because they feel like they've been aggrieved or they've been pushed over. So I think I've dealt with this situation quite well. But let me know in the comments if there's anything you would do differently in this. So as we were saying, talk about entering the box, which is something, was very common here. We're going to look at 2 examples about why it's important to make sure we enter the box. So as you can see here, the ball gets played around. It takes a long shot. The only problem here is I've not reacted well, so I'm still, what we're going to say, 35, 40 yards out. And then I've noticed here that the defender hasn't made an active effort. The Guernsey player wants it more, and he's slid in. But you can see that I'm running it in to make sure that if I have to give a decision, I'm there. So we can see that I've realised I've got to get on my toes, and then as the ball is kicked, you can just about see me here. So that means that I've had to work to get into the box and work hard. And that's important that we keep following the ball in, because by the time you've hit the whistle, you've probably got another 2 steps. Everyone looks up and there you are on top of everything. I was probably slightly caught off guard by the shot and the keeper save. But, you know, because I've been working on my speed, that's really important that, you know, it shows that it's worked here, that I've been able to get into that position quickly, even if I have been a little bit caught off guard. And it's the same for this clip, really. So watch, the ball goes into the back of the net. We've got 2 Sutton players ready to get the ball. This makes it 3-3 at this point. So, you know, it's tight in. The goalkeeper's kicked the ball into the net. He wants to delay because, you know, they want the points. It's 2 teams at the bottom of the table. Every point matters. So as you can see me here running in to make sure that all the players are together and I'm dealing with the situation. Because like we said a minute ago, that confrontation of 2 players coming together, especially a 2-on-1 with the goalkeeper, you know, control what we can control and be in that situation and just be a police officer, getting around, no fellas, drop the ball, let's get on with it. And these are the kind of things that we say so that they know you're there, the attackers know that you're dealing with it, the goalkeeper knows that he's got a little bit of protection as well. So that, you know, it just manages the event and the occasion at this point, because like little flash turning points that can lose your match control in an instant, especially at 3-3. So as you can see here, like we had no issues. They got the ball, they started running to the halfway line. Easy as that. And then again here, as you can see my positioning, I'm more aware of the ball being crossed into the box, about talking into like penetrating that box. Keeper makes a save, slips on it, sits on the ball. But as you can see, I'm running in, so I've got a good view of what's going on. So if anything does happen, then I'm there on top of it. And that's really important about, especially with the wind, the keeper didn't know where the ball was going. Neither keeper knew where the ball was going. The slipperiness of the rain, it was heavy rain. So these are the kind of things we have to monitor. Be on top of things all the time, especially in games like this. A rogue flick of the player here can cause carnage. We can have a mask on. So you being on top of it prevents that. And you've controlled the game all the way through. We've come out of the game with 4 yellow cards, so not a massive amount of yellow cards. We managed the game really well in what was a tough day out because of the weather. The ball was starting to stick at the end, not enough to abandon it, but, you know, to keep going. So, yeah, that was the game. It was tough. I was exhausted coming off. I was tired. I had a lot to deal with in terms of, like, with the flight delay, both to and from Guernsey. But I think as a team, we did really well. I'd love to know what you think of these scenarios and how you would deal with it better, or if there's any tips and tricks that you have for me in there as well. But that's the end of this week's vlog. You know, it's always good to go over to Guernsey, a nice international appointment, we call it, for us. But thanks very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you at the next REFSIX video.